Alright, so I want to talk about a little bit about the state of play, and mainly Tekken 8. Uh, so there's just some gameplay I recorded last night. You know, it was pretty hype, so I had to play Tekken. But, the state of play. I don't want to be that guy, alright? I don't want to be that guy. But that was the worst state of play of all time. I think the whole console wars thing pretty lame. And I can say, as a PS5 owner for like a year and a half, why do I own this thing? Pretty sure in this whole time the only game I played was Demon Souls. That's like the only PS5 exclusive game that I played. The Xbox and the PS5 literally have no games. And I like God of War 2018. I did. But, wow. Ragnarok looks exactly the same. Graphically, it looks identical. Gameplay-wise, it looks identical. I'm sure the story's gonna be great, but, yeah, my hype for that died. And I hate how they saved the whole state of play for that one giant Ragnarok reveal for all the Twitter fanboys. But I didn't really care, and I don't think a lot of people did. You know, not trying to be that guy, but I mean, what I saw was identical to the last game. So, pretty mid state of play. Tekken 8 carried it. And yeah, so I don't know what I would give it, because Tekken 8 was good, but honestly, that state of play was like a 3 out of 10. Pretty mid. Not a single game that I cared about, and God of War looks identical. Even if it turns out to be an amazing game, what they're showing is not amazing, really. So, Tekken 8. It's time for Tekken 8. I feel like, so, you know, I'm kind of, you could see here, I'm not a Tekken god gamer, alright? Pretty mid Tekken gamer. I played this game for about 5 years. And each time I played it for a week or less and then gave up. For many reasons. So I feel like I offer a unique perspective than most people do. I also played this game before I played fighting games. So I also have a perspective from back then. And then, a little bit later, I actually played fighting games, and, you know, I became that guy. So, you know, I have a different perspective on it now. So, it looks good, right? Right. I also don't want to be that guy again. But it looks a lot better than Street Fighter 6. Right, and I play Street Fighter more. I guess you could say I like Street Fighter more. But it looks a lot better. And that's probably because it's only on next gen. Again, don't want to be... I'm really being that guy right now. But Street Fighter 6 should have only been next gen as well. I hate when a new generation comes out and everything is just held back. Even God of War is held back by last gen. I know not everyone has one, right? But, I mean, Street Fighter 6 is going to be the Street Fighter game for the next 7 years or something, right? At least keep it... It already looks worse than Tekken 8, right? It's not... That's not saying it's going to be a bad game. It just, like, graphic-wise, it looks worse. So it already is starting to look bad in comparison. Well, I don't want to say bad, but worse. And it's not even out yet. So, in 7 years, it's going to look like garbage. Because it was on the PS4. And Tekken 8, while I don't think it's coming out until the end of next year, or beginning of 2024, it already looks like a PS5 game. Right? It looks next gen. And that kind of sucks because Street Fighter 5 looked terrible, and it was always regarded as that terrible looking game, and they had a chance, and it looks good finally, but now it's already starting to get outclassed. And that's just because they put it on last gen, which is a good choice now, but in like 4 or 5 years, no one's going to be playing last gen. So, you know, they kind of done goofed for the long term. Also, a lot of people talk about the way the characters look. I want to give credit to that stage, right? That might be the best looking stage in fighting game history. No one is pointing out how amazing that stage looked and how it ran. I hope it runs good online, because that's a problem. Who knows? That stage might not even be in the game. That just might be a story mode only stage, and that would be tragic if it is, because that is the most insane stage I've ever seen, and not many people seem to be pointing that out. It's like they weren't even seeing what was happening. It was insane. And you know, I'm not really that good at Tekken, so I can't give my input gameplay wise, right? So I'm just gonna leave other people to do that. But the one thing that I want for this game is just to, I don't know how to describe it, but it's my biggest problem with Tekken, which is why I was a Tekken noob this whole time, and I still am. But I mean, I've just recently started playing it, as you can see on my channel, a lot, and I can say that I enjoyed it more than I ever have. But my biggest problem with Tekken is they're all the same. All the games, like if you go back to the last game, it's the same thing as this game, but just less mechanics. So less mechanics, less moves, right? It's the same but less. And if you go to the game before that, it's the same but less. If you keep doing that, it's the same but less. It is very hard to compete with people who have been playing these games for many years. And I never felt that way with Street Fighter, and I never felt that way with Guilty Gear, or even Mortal Kombat. I never felt like, oh, I can't compete with these guys. Tekken, though, I can't compete. Not that I'm even close to being able to even have a chance to compete, but if I did play Tekken 8 since day one, and it's like Tekken 7, the old classic players are going to be so far ahead, it's not even funny. Which I want them to change, right? I'm not saying I want them to Guilty Gear the game, where they completely change everything, even though I like Strive. You know, they completely rework that game. And that was good, right? I mean, it was a new game. The characters didn't even have the same normals most of the time. That's pretty sick, right? And I don't want to make Tekken simpler, but I just don't want a guy who's been playing for 20 years to just head into Tekken and he's just better. He should be better, right? But not to the point where it's like years worth of skill difference. Because I always hate that about Tekken. And it's really the Tekken and maybe KOF are the two games where that really, it's just a problem. At least for me, it's a problem. Because I want to get good at these games. I'm not just a casual. I want to be really good at KOF, which I don't play anymore because the matchmaking was terrible. And I mean, I just started playing Tekken, and I want to be good at it. But it's just, you know, I shouldn't be on the same level as them in, you know, a month. That's not what I'm saying, right? But it's the fact that I will probably never be able to reach remotely close to high level because I just lack the years of experience. And it's still possible, you know, but you would have to put so much time into it that it's just not something that I would want to do. And that's my biggest problem with Tekken. And I hope Tekken 8 fixes that because, I mean, it looks so sick. And, you know, I'm probably going to play it a lot. Like, a lot more than Tekken 7. And I might play it more than Street Fighter 6 if Street Fighter 6 sucked. It doesn't look like it's going to suck. But, you know, also, you know, that's just that. I just want to talk about that. I mean, I know some people are gonna hate me for saying that because they don't want their precious game to be touched in any way, like Guilty Gear. But I don't know. I feel like it's necessary. Also, guest characters. Just want to touch on that. As you just saw, that geese match was pain. You literally just saw that. I didn't even mean for that to happen, but you just saw that geese match. Get rid of, guest characters are fine. Why not put like a virtual fighter character in? Why does it have to be a dude with a low that can no. Just don't do that again. Maybe like a virtual fighter character or Kiryu or something like that. Someone that fights, and doesn't shoot things would be, splendid. So yeah, just keep the guest characters. Yeah. I don't even want to get into that. So, all right. So now it's time for the big one, the netcode. Harada, for some reason, I don't know what his problem is, but he just refuses to acknowledge what rollback is, and that this game that you're seeing right now is not rollback. We just saw Bandai release JoJo. I played the beta. I was hyped for the beta. I uploaded on the channel. You saw that, but there's a reason I didn't upload it again. I didn't even buy it because it's just so disrespectful to remake this whole game, add new systems, and then have the nerve to sell DLC for like a 10-year-old PS3 game. But the netcode is disgustingly bad. Like, it was bad. And I saw some people on Twitter, I don't want to call out anyone, I saw some people saying, oh, it's not that bad if you have the right connection. Yeah, it's really not that bad if you have the right connection. But from my beta experience, right, it was the worst netcode I have ever played in a fighting game. Easily. That's probably because it's from the PS3. So, it was bad. It was really bad. Like, when you had a good connection, it was fine. Like, literally anything ever. But it was bad. Once you got to, like, less than 3 bars, it was near unplayable. And that's probably because it was a bunch of casual JoJo fans. And, they probably didn't have Ethernet. Which is fine. Don't blame them. Blame Bandai for being lazy, right? And they're adding rollback to fighters, which is fire. They have to add rollback to Tekken 8. And whatever this netcode is, they claim it's rollback. I'm sure it has some type of rollback in it. This is not what has to be in Tekken 8. And Harada is very set with this netcode. He's very... I guess ignorant. I don't want to be that guy, but he just does not want to admit that this is terrible. All right, and I know they did some updates and they fixed it, and it is really not the worst netcode ever. But it will be unacceptable if a new game as big as Tekken 8 comes out and it has bad netcode. This game, Tekken 7, has not the worst netcode. It's really bad at sometimes though, but it has so many connection issues, like just disconnecting mid-match. Like, I'm not even talking rage quitting. Like, it would just disconnect. Trying to even start a match with some people, it just won't start. I've never had problems like this unless it was Tekken 7. So netcode needs to be fixed. Well, not fixed, but just brand new. Just get brand new netcode. And yeah, that's a thing. Crossplay is also huge. It's a no-brainer. If KOF can get crossplay, then I'm pretty sure Tekken 8 will have crossplay. It's a no-brainer. It's gonna be what, like 2024 when this game comes out. A game in 2024 having crossplay will just be mind-blowing. Strive has it, Street Fighter has it, KOF has it. Well, they don't have it yet, but they're going to have it. If Tekken doesn't have it, that'll be a big minus. I don't think it would kill the game, but it would just be stupid. Why would you do that? So it has to have that too. And and I feel like I touched on everything. Like the skill gap was a big one, just for me personally. You can definitely still get good. It's just that the hours is unhealthy. I mean, maybe take some moves out. I don't want to like ruin characters, but you know, taking moves and replacing them instead of just taking moves out like Strive did. Strive just took moves out and didn't replace them. I feel like if this game, if Tekken 8 took moves out and replaced them with something else, that could make for a more, you know, newer feeling game, more interesting game. But don't take moves out and just don't replace them with anything. Like, give them a replacement. I don't really want them to add moves. There's already enough moves. I feel like getting rid of moves and replacing them with something else would be pretty cool. I don't know if people would hate that, but it would make every character feel new, even if they're an old character, which would be cool, and also probably help with the skill gap thing. Which I don't know if they're gonna simplify this game. I hope not. I like Tekken. It is hard, but I don't want them to strive it, right? And like I like Strive. It's probably my most played fighting game of the past like 5 years, besides like Dragon Ball FighterZ. I like Strive, but it is a night and day difference between the last game and Strive, like Rev 2 and Strive. And I don't want them to do that. But if they did do that, do it right. Don't make it a baby game. Don't make it a baby game. Or just feel like, maybe more like something that annoys me in this game. Not everyone's rage art is the same. If you block a rage art, some are completely unpunishable. Some are punishable if you do a certain thing. Like, why? But they should all universally be punishable the same way, right? I don't feel like anyone would be mad if you have to do the squiggly diggly to punish a rage art in Tekken 7, and then they took that out and just made it easier to punish. That would be stupid. I don't think anyone would get mad about that. Just things like that. You're more universally things that make more sense universally for everyone. There's some things that should not take specific things to punish. Things like that. I feel like I got most of my thoughts out. But I don't know what else to talk about, so I guess that's it. So yeah, subscribe, I guess, do all that stuff, and tell me why you agree or disagree.